Because everything that the people set up as a god, Abraham destroyed all those idols. Didn't he? He went into the Kaaba full of hundreds of statues and figurines that people had erected as a god besides God. He didn't have to go in and guess which one was not God. He knew who God was. So he went and destroyed every idol. Didn't he? Except for one, the chief idol. He left the chief idol there to prove a point to the ignorant idol worshipers. Some of us have our mind right now 5,000 years ago. We are seeing a bearded white man with sandals on and a robe, walking in the desert inside of some big monument, knocking over sticks and stones. But if you look at the story, we are living that right now. The masses of our people have become idol worshipers. What is an idol in the modern translation? See, an idol then was a hand-carved wood figurine of an animal or an object or a plant, or the mixture of the two or the three, called a god beside God. And people bowed down and gave it more authority than what it deserved. People worshiped the idol. People followed the idol. People thought the idol would be able to give them advice if they would ask for the advice. Well, what about in America today? What is the show American Idol designed to produce? And the goal of American Idol is to produce a singer, a rapper, a musician, an entertainer. Why? Because the entertainers of this world are today's figurines. They are today's idols that must be destroyed. All praise is due to Allah. Abraham destroyed them all, left the chief. The people came in and said, who did this? Abraham was in the back. I imagine he was snickering a little bit. I imagine he had a lightweight chuckle on it. I imagine he was bumping Ishmael's elbow. And told his son, watch this. Well, why don't you ask the chief? He's still here. Surely if he's the chief idol and the God of all gods, then he would know who came in and did it. And they said unto Abraham, foolish man, he speaketh not, he seeth not, he worketh nothing. And Abraham said, that's exactly the point. How can you be bowing down to an object that can't even see and you can? How can you bow down to an object that can't build but you can? How can you bow down to an object that has no spirit, has no soul, has no emotion, has no function, no ability? It's subordinate to you, yet you bow down to it. That was Abraham talking to his people about them idols. And that is Muhammad talking to us today about our idol worship of the white man and his entertainers. All praise is due to Allah. The Bible says that God, in Habakkuk 3 and 4, God came from T-Man, the Holy One from Mount Paran. Genesis 36 and 11 says that Esau begat Eliphaz, meaning Esau was Eliphaz's father. And then Eliphaz begat Esau, meaning that Esau was the father of Eliphaz and Eliphaz the father of T-Man. Esau was a man. Is that right? Eliphaz, a man. T-Man, a man. But God is coming from T-Man. Jesus says spirit will beget spirit, Now flesh will beget flesh. If God is going to come from T-Man and a spirit only can beget a spirit, how do we believe that God is a spirit? When in fact, if he came from T-Man, he had to come from the bloodline of a human being, making him himself a human being. All praises are due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah. Scientifically, there is nothing that exists in the universe except that it exists in three forms. Is that right? Solid, liquid, and gas. A solid is that which is material matter. A liquid is that which is material but a little more elusive than physical matter. And a gas is also material, but it is material heated up in a way that it becomes a gas. Is that right? Well, we know that God is not a gas because he could be evaporated. He's got to be more than liquid because liquid adopts the form of whatever it's put into. Meaning that if God was a liquid, he would submit to the form and the make of the vessel that he's poured in. So if it's a crooked vessel, God becomes crooked. If it's a broken vessel, God becomes broken. If it's an immoral vessel, then God becomes immoral. And since God does not bow down and submit to nothing, he got to be a solid. Is that right? Well, if he's a solid, solids exist in three forms. Animal, plant, or mineral. Animate, inanimate, and mineral life. Is that right? He's called the rock of ages. Yes, he is. But he's more than a rock. A man can pick a rock up and throw it wherever he wants to. A man can bury a rock. He's called the rose of Sharon. But roses die in the winter, but God is the ever-living. He's called the lily in the valley. But you can pick a lily and kill a lily. But you can't pick and kill God. So he has to be more than inanimate. He has to be more than mineral. He has to be one that is born out of the species of the animal kingdom. And when you look at the animal kingdom, then it exists in three forms. You got the lowest is the reptile. Next is the four-legged beast. Then the highest phase of animal life is the human being. So if God is going to be a living God, he must manifest himself in the best form. And since man is better than the beast, beast better than the reptile, reptile better than the rock, rock better than the mineral, the mineral better than the plant better than the liquid and the gas. God has to be living and working and exciting and reviving inside of a human being. All praise are due to Allah. So who is he and what is he? The next question that is asked is, when will this God show up? The Bible says that God's coming is after the workings of Satan. Satan being, he's given a time period for which he can mess the whole world up. Revelations 20 verse 7 says that dragon would be loose to deceive all nations. That he will be bound for 1,000 years. Is that right? So here he's being loose to deceive all the nations, but not forever, for a time period. The Bible says that 6 days shall you work, old man. But the one that has slaves, the slaves shall work for you no more after them 6 days. The one that has prisons and prisoners, they shall be prisoners no more after 6 days. You all right? But that 6 days of this old man working is not God. It's a lesser God. White folks made a movie called Children of a Lesser God.